A very good evening to all of you. Today we'll do an important topic, that is glycolysis. You all know about this glycolysis, means breakdown of glucose takes place, and why this glycolysis is important. And before this we will discuss about this where glycolysis takes place inside the cell. Glycolysis takes place inside the cell cytoplasm. Its location is cytoplasm of cell. Glycolysis have another name, that is EMP pathway. This name is after the name of scientist. Emerson Mayer of Parson pathway. Glycolysis takes place in all the cells, that is prokaryotic cell, whether eukaryotic cell, whether plant cell, animal cell, but it is absent in case of viruses. So it occurs in all cells like prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, plant cell, animal cell, except viruses. This glycolysis have total 10 steps. It completed in steps, and or you can say 10 enzymes are there. Here, as the word is indicating, glycolysis means breakdown of the glucose for the formation of pyruvate. Glucose is a 6-carbon compound, and in glycolysis the formation of final product is 3-carbon compound, that is pyruvate. This glycolysis completed in 2 phases. First is energy investment phase, means here energy is used. Second is energy producing phase. Got it? So here we have discussed that in glycolysis there are 2 steps. First phase is the energy investing phase and second is the energy producing phase. So let's start the cycle of glycolysis. It starts from glucose, which is a 6-carbon compound. then glucose convert into glucose 6-phosphate. Then in the presence of enzyme, that is hexokinase, after that this glucose convert into fructose, first glucose convert into glucose 6-phosphate, then glucose 6-phosphate convert into fructose 6-phosphate, then this fructose convert into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, then fructose 1,6-bisphosphate convert into dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and phosphoglyceraldehyde. Both these are 3-carbon compound. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate, I am writing the full form, dihydroxyacetone phosphate it is a ketose sugar. Got it, students? This dihydroxyacetone phosphate, it is a ketose sugar and it is 3-carbon compound. And phosphoglyceraldehyde, phosphoglyceraldehyde, it is a 3-carbon compound, and both this dihydroxyacetone, it will convert into phosphoglyceraldehyde, and the enzymes involved here are aldose, aldolase, and here is triose 6-phosphate, triose phosphatase. See here enzyme is triose phosphate isomerase. Got it? Now see here, this phosphoglyceraldehyde, it will convert into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. See, I am writing it here. It will convert into this PGAL. It converts into 1,3-bis-phosphoglyceric acid. After that, this 1,3-bis-phosphoglyceric acid convert into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Then 3-phosphoglyceric acid convert to form 2-phosphoglyceric acid. 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Now this 2-phosphoglyceric acid will convert into phosphoenol pyruvate, and the final product of glycolysis is pyruvate. Got it? See here, we have discussed in the first step hexokinase enzyme is there, and see glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate. So here at 6th position one phosphate group is there. So from where this phosphate group is coming from? Here energy is used. This phosphate group come from the ATP. So here energy is used in the form of ATP. Now glucose 6-phosphate convert into fructose 6-phosphate, the phosphofructokinase enzyme. So enzyme is phosphofructokinase. Got it, beta? Then this fructose 6-phosphate, here is not phosphofructokinase. Here this isomerase enzyme is there. Got it? Here isomerase enzyme is there. Isomerase enzyme, and the process is isomerization. And here is phosphofructokinase enzyme. Phosphofructokinase enzyme. This fructose 6-phosphate convert into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate in the presence of enzyme phosphofructokinase. Here also at one position phosphate group is added, and it is also added from the ATP. So one molecule of ATP is used here. This ATP is used here, and then one phosphate group is added to the fructose at the first position. Then this fructose 1,6-bisphosphate convert into two products, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Now this PGL compound convert into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid in the presence of enzyme, that is dehydrogenase. In the presence of enzyme dehydrogenase. Dehydrogenase. And here NAD positive convert into NADH, one 3-bisphosphoglyceric acid is formed. Now 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid convert into 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and here also in this step ATP is used. See here, one 3-bisphosphoglyceric acid and one phosphate is adding to the ADP and it form ATP. So here energy is produced, that is in the form of ATP. Now 3-phosphoglyceric acid is converting into 2-phosphoglyceric acid. In the presence of enzyme, again isomerase or mutase enzyme is there or isomerase, and here kinase is there. Now this 2-phosphoglyceric acid converted into phosphoenol pyruvate, then at this time one water molecule is removed from here. Then this phosphoenol pyruvate, I am writing the full form, this phosphoenol pyruvate, it is converting into pyruvate. Here also ATP is produced, energy is produced in the form of ATP. Got it beta? So here at the first step, glucose is converting into glucose 6-phosphate. So it is a first step. This is glucose 6-phosphate. See here. This is the first step, step number 1. So at this phosphate, hexokinase enzyme is used and ATP is converting into ADP. It means energy is used here in the form of ATP. And see, at the second step, glucose 6-phosphate converting into fructose 6-phosphate in the presence of enzyme isomerase. Then at the third step, fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate in the presence of enzyme kinase, that is phosphofructokinase. Here also in fructose structure at one position phosphate group is added. So this phosphate is coming from the ATP. So ATP is used here. Now at the fourth step, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is converting into DHAP and phosphoglyceraldehyde, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate and phosphoglyceraldehyde in the presence of enzyme aldolase. See the enzyme? Got it beta? Here this fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is converted into two products and both the products are 3 carbon compound. Earlier all these are the 6 carbon compounds and then they form DHAP and PGL. Both there are 3 carbon compounds. So there is no enzyme for it. So it is converting into phosphoglyceric acid. Got it? In the presence of enzyme triose phosphate isomerase. So here we have to multiply all these by the 2 because here these products are also converting into it. So here we multiply it by the 2. Got it? Means all are the two products are there, whether ATP formation, whether NADH, all are. Next, come to the fifth point. This is the step number 5. Formation of phosphoglyceraldehyde. Now, at the sixth step, in the presence of dehydrogenase enzyme, this phosphoglyceraldehyde convert into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. Then this 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid in the presence of enzyme, that is kinase, and here see here it converting into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So 1 phosphate is used in the formation of the ATP. So here ATP energy is producing. At the 7th step, it is important, you have to note it. At the next 7th step, 3-phosphoglyceric acid is converting into 2-phosphoglyceric acid in the presence of isomerase or mutase enzyme. It is step number 8. Next, this 2-phosphoglyceric acid, it is converting into phosphoenol pyruvate. Here one water molecule is removing, and then this phosphoenol pyruvate, it is finally converting into the product that is pyruvate. It is forming the product pyruvate. This pyruvate is also a 3-carbon compound, and at this step ATP is formed. Step number 10. So, in this total 10 steps are there. Got it, all of you? Have you got it? Now let's discuss here 2 phases of this phosphoglycolysis. See here, up from here to this fructose 1,6-phosphate, it is the energy investing phase. This glycolysis cycle is converting into 2 phases. One is the energy investing phase, and the second phase is the energy producing phase. This is the energy producing phase, because here at 2 steps energy is producing, at the step number 7 and step number 10. Got it, all of you? Here this I am again repeating it. This glycolysis start from the glucose, which is a 6-carbon compound, and ultimately it forms a 3-carbon compound. Got it? And see here, it is a, if we talk about this PGL, it is also a 3-carbon compound, but it is a aldose sugar. It is aldose sugar because aldehyde is there. I am making the flow chart in which I will discuss the total number of ATP and ADH is formed in this glycolysis cycle. First product is the, take it quickly, glucose. This glucose is converting into glucose 6-phosphate. Then it will form fructose 6-phosphate. Then fructose 6-phosphate form fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Then fructose 1,6-bisphosphate convert into DHAP, dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and phosphoglyceraldehyde. And then this phosphoglyceraldehyde, it will convert into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, bisphosphoglyceric acid. 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid convert into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Then it convert into 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Phosphoglyceric acid, it converts into 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Then 2-phosphoglyceric acid, it converts into phosphoenol pyruvate, convert into phosphoenol pyruvate, and then it will convert into pyruvate. So here we have completed total 10 steps. I am writing all these steps here. This is the step number 1, 2, 3, 4, and these both are interconvertible. This is the 5th step. Step number 6, 7, 8, 9 and step number 10. Total 10 steps are there, and I am here highlighting the steps in which energy is used or energy is produced. If we talk about this first step, here energy is used in the form of ATP. At step number 3 also ATP is used. Then at step number 6, here energy is produced in the form of NADH. Here oxidation of NAD positive takes place, then it will form NADH, and here at the 7th position also energy is produced in the form of ATP, and ultimately at the 10th step also energy is formed in the form of ATP. So here it is divided into 2 phases. One phase is energy producing phase and second is energy investment phase. Got it, beta? Have you got it up to here? So now from this glycolysis cycle, what are the final products? Now here I am writing the final products. So see the cycle and tell me what are the final products of the cycle. The final product is pyruvate, means 2 molecules of pyruvate are there. Final products are two molecules of pyruvate and 2 NADH and 2 ATP. One thing is there, you have to multiply these all by 2. If you see total here in first energy, this is the energy investment phase. This I have written opposite, make it correct. This is the energy investment phase. Energy, because energy is using here. Energy investing phase, and this is the energy producing phase. This is energy producing phase, and there are, because this dihydroxyacetone is also converting into this phosphoglyceraldehyde, so we have to multiply it by 2. All the products are multiples of 2. So the final product is 2 pyruvate and 2 NADH, because here NADH is formed and we have to multiply it by 2. So 2 products of NADH, and here for total in this energy producing 4 ATP are there. See, 2 into 2, these are the 4, but here 2 ATP are used here. So total ATP produced in this glycolysis are 2. So these are the final products in glycolysis cycle. Next is the formation of ATP. ATP synthesis occurs by 2 methods. One is direct method, direct ATP synthesis, Two methods are there. Got it? So what is the direct method? In direct method, ATP formation takes place at two steps. One is the 7th step and another is the 10th step. In the 7th step, 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, see here, 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid is converting into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So energy is producing here. So first step of direct ATP formation is when 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, it is converting into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Here ATP formation takes place, and the 10th step in which phosphoenol pyruvate is converting into pyruvate, and here energy is produced in the form of ATP, and this energy is the substrate level phosphorylation, because here phosphoenol pyruvate is a substrate. So it is substrate level phosphorylation. It is very important. Substrate level phosphorylation. It is known as SLP. See, the second is indirect method of ATP formation. Indirect method of ATP synthesis. See, in the 6th step, NADH is producing. If we talk about the 6th step, from NAD positive ATP is formed. When NAD positive convert into NADH, which is an oxidation reaction, from this NADH formation of ATP takes place. We know 1 NADH is equal to 3 molecules of ATP. This NADH formation, it takes place inside the matrix of the mitochondria, and there it helps in the formation of ATP. That's why we are saying it oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation. Got it, beta? So here we have discussed two methods of ATP formation. First is direct method and second is indirect method. In case of direct method, if we discuss the two steps of glycolysis, first is the 7th step and another is the 10th step. At both these steps, formation of energy takes place in the form of ATP, and in the 10th step, the substrate is phosphoenol pyruvate, and in this step phosphoenol pyruvate, that is substrate, it is converting into final product, that is pyruvate. But here energy is producing in the form of ATP. That's why we are saying that it is a substrate level phosphorylation. And next is the indirect method of ATP formation. In this case, ATP is forming from the NADH. You know this NADH, it is increasing the proton concentration inside the inner membrane space of mitochondria. See, this is the mitochondria. It is the inner membrane, and on the inner membrane proteins are present. These are the proteins which are involved in electron transport system, and with the help of these proteins, this Na D positivity is converted into NADH, and here concentration of protons increasing into the intermembrane space. Due to this, gradient formation takes place of H positive. Here high concentration of H positive is there, and inside the matrix low concentration is there, due to which this H positive move from higher concentration to the lower concentration region through F0 channel. This is F0 and this is F1. From this F0 channel, H positive move and come into the matrix of the mitochondria, and then ATP formation takes place because ATPase enzyme is present on this subunit. This is the subunit which is present on the inner membrane of the mitochondria. This is the outer membrane and it is inner membrane. Got it? So in the electron transport system, from NADH ATP formation takes place. That's why we are saying it oxidative phosphorylation. So here we have discussed the complete cycle of glycolysis and direct and indirect methods of the ATP formation. Thank you so much.